How's it, guys? Here we are at Falcon Field, which is an airport just outside Phoenix. Well, it's in the eastern suburbs of Phoenix, Arizona. And I thought I'd take a Bell 407. Lovely aircraft. I don't know what I'm doing today. I think I'm filming traffic, or is that a rescue? Are those rescue? I don't know. I haven't figured out all the livery of this aircraft, but it's a very beautiful plane. Very responsive, lovely machine. We're gonna be flying northeast from here to. We're going to be flying, there we go, almost right. We're going to be flying northeast to the Bush Highway, and then following that to Segura Lake, and then what I want to do is fly down the Salt River until we get to Horse Mesa, and I can just have a ramble on my thoughts on the Lost Dutchman mine and all that jazz. So, okay, here we go. So, I need to pick her up into a 4-footer. So I'm adding a bit of left pedal, and I'm bringing the collective smoothly up. And up she comes. Okay, we need to go. No, which way am I facing? No, actually, it's quicker if we swing around to the left. Yeah, I'm going to be heading out more or less that way. Can't fly through a building, so let's just get back on the path and drift over this way. At this stage, I'd be asking for air traffic control, or I'd be doing a proper hover taxi over the actual taxiway out to the runway, and then asking for clearance and all that jazz. X-plane, this is X-plane, by the way, X-plane 11.55, extremely good flight sim, which I've owned for a number of years, and I've been upgrading it as the upgrades have come out. Very nice piece of software. And this is the Bell 407 Dream engine. You know, it's a commercial Bell 407 you can buy as an add-on for X-plane. Forgive the ropey hovering here. I'm one of those people who can't really talk and hover at the same time. It's one of those things. Okay, that's not too bad. Thought we were going to get into some pilot-induced oscillation there. Right. Yeah, I'll take a shortcut across the grass. Air traffic control is bitching in my ears about what an idiot I am. That's no probs. Okay. Lined up for course. I'm going to assume we've taken clearance, so a little bit of forward cyclic, up collective. And there's the shudder as we go into translational lift. Helicopters reach a speed, it's about 20 to 25 knots, depends on the model, where the blade suddenly becomes much more efficient as a wing almost, and you get out of ground effect, and you get away from the hovering, and you become much more of kind of an aircraft when you're flying. It's a little bit easier to fly. So here we go. I want to do about 110 knots. You can see my airspeed is coming up for 100 there, and Everything is nice and cool. Cars on the highway. I think this is set to local time, so this is the weather conditions are what it's like in Phoenix right now, which I presume is a lovely spring day getting towards summer. It's probably about 95 degrees, and just fly over these outer suburbs. This is a little bit slow. The frame rate isn't the best. I hope I haven't cocked up the frame rate by making the settings too high, because then that will be very jerky when we get to flying down the Salt River Canyon. So, the Lost Dutchman's mine, what can we say? It's fascinating, isn't it? The whole PDA was the Lost Dutchman. He went back in time and was the guy who came up with the legend, and the reason he did it is because the ancient civilization of Callalus is underneath the superstitions, well, the remnants, you know, so the map room, the remnants of Oz, I mean, that's all incredible stuff. I highly recommend the book, excuse me, the Tucson Artifacts. If you want, it's a $9 PDF, really worth buying. If you want the like hard evidence of Roman artifacts from sort of between 700 and 900 AD on the American continent, really amazing stuff. Okay, coming up on our left there is, you can see the highway. That is the N Bush Highway. It calls, at least that's what Google Maps calls it. I don't know the region that well, so I'm presuming that means Neil Bush. So is that Neil Bush as in the lesser known brother of the Bushes? Yeah, need to do something about the Bush family, America. I see that George is in the news again, George W., with his bloody stupid comments about Ukraine. And of course he had a slip of the tongue and talked about Iraq. The reason he invaded Iraq was a personal vendetta against Saddam, who tried to have his old man killed. Okay. Highway still around there. Now we're going to fly through this gap here. Just going to take her up a little bit. I'm going to fly through this gap here, and we should see Segura Lake pretty soon. Just before we go any further, I want to make damn sure that I haven't set the settings too ridiculous. Oh, they are a bit ridiculous. I just want a high frame rate. Whoa, what happened there? What? I haven't done anything. Bloody hell. Great. Pause, resume, and the helicopter goes apeshit. Well, that's one thing that doesn't happen in real life, I suppose. You can't just pause and change the settings. Okay, that wasn't me. Something went ballistic. Alright, let's recover. Going nice and fast here, about 120 knots, which is about 210, 220 k's an hour. along this valley. Power lines, the bane of every helicopter pilot. You hit a power line, you're going to have a very bad day indeed. We successfully flew over the power lines. Okay. Alright, so I think what we have here is Segura Lake ahead of us. Yeah, and what I want to do is take us along. We're going to fly due east for a bit until we hit Little Lake where the Dolly steamboat is, and then we'll be turning up. So we'll be flying up where the Salt River goes. Spent the last few days making my own helicopter controls. So if you want to buy, you're looking at thousands of dollars, which is just ridiculous in my humble opinion. Now, where are we on the map? I'm not actually sure. Is this the Salt River here? I don't think so. No, I think I've screwed up the navigation here. No, we haven't reached the Salt River yet. Let's carry on down. We haven't reached the branch. We are on the Salt River. We haven't reached the branch where we need to go down. I think that's still to come. Or is it? Is this the diagonally shaped lake? I don't have a map. I don't have a map or a Garmin in front of me on this machine, so I'm navigating by eyeball, as you can probably tell. As I was saying, I spent the last week making some helicopter controls. So some rudder pedals, which is like literally a stick on a bolt, which rotates, and it's connected to a potentiometer, which I then plug into a little joystick controller, which is USB powered. Done. Wonderful. Very sensitive, very cheap, very effective. And then I made a collective, which is again a stick. A stick attached to a board, and what? No, don't crash now. That was a bit silly. It's a stick connected to a board, which again has a potentiometer that I'd set up a little gearing system. So there's like a 3-to-1 gear ratio, because collectives, that's the control that looks like a handbrake next to the pilot's left. That doesn't actually move much, only about 40 degrees or so. So I wanted to make it sensitive, so I put in I just cut out some gears out of plywood, so it's a 3-to-1 gear ratio. Okay, this is the lake where the Dolly steamboat is, on the opposite. Alright, so that means we need to go down here, because this is where the Salt River flows. Yeah, helicopter controls, you can spend literally thousands of dollars. And, yeah, there's some guys who take it seriously, but I can't help feeling that we get ripped off a lot. I'm thinking of putting together a kit so that people can make themselves a decent set of controls out of wood. Alright. Oh, where's the Salt River going? I think it's going this way. Okay. Yeah. I hear you. I'm overspeeding the rotor. I think it's time for a bit more collective. A little bit more collective up here. And maybe a little less speed. Okay, now we're getting to the interesting section of the Salt River where we're coming up to Horse Mesa, a skeleton cave, the walls of bronze. There's a suggestive name if ever there was one. This is pretty much, this is now the map that BD and On posted yesterday. The map that BD and On posted yesterday. This is that area. What I'm going to do is fly up and over this, because we're now coming up close to Horse Mesa. So I want to get our airspeed down from its current, yeah, there we go. Okay, so that is Horse Mesa right there. What I'm going to do is bring airspeed way down. We were at 120 knots. We need to be much slower than that, much slower, if we're going to land on the Horse Mesa helipad, which I seriously doubt I'm going to pull off, because my mountain landings suck. There is the dam just beyond there. So for the helipad here. I think it's there. I just can't see it. I don't have track IR or any funky VR stuff that I can rely on. I would imagine flying this in VR is really amazing. Okie dokie. Yeah. I need to slow down. Very slow. 20 knots. There we go. Very slow. Can't see the H, so I think it's below me. Somewhere over here. Gotta land on that flat bit there. Bloody hell. No. We have pilot-induced oscillation, and... Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. A skidding landing on top of the mountain. Ugh. That was horrible. I hate mountain landings. More practice required. Okay, so here we are. Shut up. And wait for our RPMs to come down. There we go. So the engine's turned off and the rotor and engine tachyometer are connected. They're in a double here. So the inner one is your engine revolutions. Normally, I think a 407 is like 6,000 RPM. And here comes the rotor slowly spinning down. So, here we are, Horse Mesa. Let's just tug on the rotor brake. It's slowed down a bit. Yeah. Landing on the slope. That's why my landing was so dodgy. Oh well, we're down in one piece, just. And apparently in real life, if you now go hiking down around here, like that story that MM posted on Gab, where some guys just suddenly appeared, what, in a helicopter and queried them. Somewhere under here is the map room. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Just a ramble. I'm gonna be away from my office for 2 weeks, but I will have mobile internet with me, so I will be in touch, and I will be definitely following what's going on in the world, because I think things are coming to a head quite quickly. But otherwise, yeah, hope you enjoyed this. Take care. Bye.